How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Black Metal Rebellion. I'm your host, Jesse Morgan, aka Slammerella, and I was surprised to get this amount of movies for this particular genre up in time for Femme Fatale month, which is May. So I definitely had to get on here and record it for you. It is a very interesting genre of thriller, horror, sometimes investigative crime and romance, all mashed together depending on where you are in the years for Femme Fatale films, especially if it's like the early 50s and 60s, or if you're later on in the modern times where it's mostly horror and thriller and stuff like that. So I got 5, give or take, Femme Fatale films for Femme Fatale month in May to show off here. Let's start off with the very first one. It's also, I guess, an exploitation film, specifically blaxploitation. I think Katie of the Dead should know more about this than I do. I think she also has the Coffee film as well with this actress. But what I'm talking about is Pam Grier and Foxy Brown. This is from the Soul Cinema series. The funny thing is about this actually is she doesn't wear that yellow dress in this movie at all. She has this dress, but it's actually red. Don't know why they made the front cover yellow. Yeah, so this is actually from 1974, and it is one of the earlier Femme Fatale films that wasn't black and white. There's the inside there. Pam Grier is definitely one of the original Femme Fatale girls. Strong, powerful woman who, when she's on screen, just commands attention, and she is not in for anyone's shit and will not be brought down for too long. But yeah, this is a pretty good film. It's not quite horror. It's not quite a thriller. It's more of a dramatic crime revenge film. In this film, her fiance or boyfriend is an informant for the FBI, and they end up getting killed by one of the gangs they're investigating. And to get back at the gangs, she tries to infiltrate by posing as a prostitute and slowly but surely hunting down all the men that were involved with her boyfriend's murder and killing them. So yeah, really good classic Femme Fatale film from 1974. Definitely need to check it out if you haven't, especially if you like the Femme Fatale genre. And if you're just into exploitation films, this is also a blaxploitation film. Again, if you're looking for more information on this, check out Katie of the Night. Did I say Katie of the Dead? I meant Katie of the Night's channel. Really cool. Glad to have it for Femme Fatale month. And if for whatever reason you're new to the Femme Fatale genre, it basically means an attractive woman that uses her seductive powers to gain control over men or get what they want from men. And if they don't get it, normally these men end up dead or worse off. So yeah, that's basically what it means. It's basically a seductive, attractive, deadly woman. All right, moving right along to the next one in my Femme Fatale collection here is a really good film. It is even remastered or re-released by Quentin Tarantino from his Rolling Thunder Pictures. This one, I believe, is from 1975, and it basically features a gang of women known as the Dagger Debs, which is the female sect of the Silver Daggers in this film. And basically what happens in this is basically a new potential member is picked up when the Dagger Debs are confronting these people at a diner and trying to take over the space and kick everyone out just so they can eat. This one girl on here, which you can see on the front, her name is Maggie. She basically stands up for herself against the Dagger Debs, And after running into her at the local female penitentiary after getting arrested at the diner, she defends herself really well, and they kind of take a liking to her and then eventually initiate her into the gang. There's a lot that goes on throughout this. There's an eventual gang war between the Silver Daggers and the rival group. At the end, a lot of gun violence and switchblades and stuff, but eventually Maggie does pull through, and there's a interesting scene at the end between the main girl of the Dagger Debs and Maggie's new group called the Jezebels. All in all, really, really fun. Lots of twists and turns here and there. A lot of Femme Fatale characters in this. Yeah, really, really neat to see a group of Femme Fatale characters all bunched together, fighting against rival gangs and the men of the Silver Daggers, and eventually becoming their own gang. Again, highly recommend this if you're wanting to check out some early Femme Fatale films. Great for Femme Fatale month in May. Glad to get a copy of this, and even recommended by Quentin Tarantino, so you can't really go wrong. Next up is a pretty good one, but also you kind of have to watch which copy you get. This is Miss 45, and it is a kind of crime thriller again. This one is from 1981. And I have the Korean copy. There is a copy you can get if you want to spend the money from Image Entertainment. However, it cuts out 2 minutes of kind of some of the main scenes that really make the woman in this kind of start her revenge arc. So you really kind of need those scenes in there to see why she begins her quest for revenge. Apparently the Image Entertainment version of this doesn't do it, so I'm glad that the Korean Miss 45 copy does. It's got English and Korean language, and it's got subtitles for both as well. And apparently the Image Entertainment one cuts out a scene from the very end too, so that's also unfortunate. This copy also has a couple of scenes added to it that wasn't on the streaming service that I watched it on. So yeah, if you want to know what happens in this that starts her revenge, basically she gets assaulted in a very not so nice way twice in one day by 2 different guys, and she just snaps. She takes the guy's 45 caliber gun and just kind of uses that as her main weapon throughout this, and basically tracks down aggressive or sexually pushy men and takes them out, etc. It's pretty good. It's pretty empowering for women that have suffered that kind of assault and abuse in their lives. I could see how it would really make you feel avenged. It's a really, really good movie when it comes to that kind of thing, and it's perfect for Femme Fatale month. The main actress in this, Zoe Lund, also goes by a couple other names, but in this she's Zoe Lund. She's in a couple other films too that I think are kind of crime drama related as well, but she died at an early age because of her addiction to heroin and cocaine. I think she died at 37. So unfortunately we didn't get too many films with her in it. I think there's only about 4 or 5 movies that are really worth noting to get in her filmography, including this one. But this, I believe, was like one of her debut main breakout roles. A very, very gorgeous woman, and it's a shame that her life was cut short due to drug use. So yeah, definitely need to track down this if you haven't seen this. If you're into Femme Fatale or crime thriller films, for sure, worth getting in your collection. But yeah, 1981's Miss 45. All right, moving along next to a trilogy of Femme Fatale films, and these ones are staples in the Femme Fatale genre. Like, if you are into the genre at all before now, you've probably seen these and probably even own 1 or 2 of them. I have the first 3 in this triple pack here, but there's also a 4th one that I still need to get. And what I'm talking about is the Poison Ivy series. The first one was from 1992. The second film was from 1996, and the third one was from 97. third movie is on the back, and the first two movies are on the front of this disc here. But yeah, the first film, as you can see there, has Drew Barrymore. Probably the best film in this series. And then the next film's called Poison Ivy 2 Lily, and it has Alyssa Milano. Not the greatest in my opinion, but it's not too bad. I haven't seen the fourth movie, The Secret Society, but it's probably better than that one. But we'll see when I get it. And then the one with Poison Ivy's sister, Violet, who's played by Jamie Presley, which is apparently no relation to Elvis Presley. But yeah, Jamie Presley's in this, and there is a lot of what people in the giallo community would call sleaze. There's a lot of sleaze in this, so a lot of nude scenes, a lot of sexuality, a lot of seduction. I mean, the film's even called The New Seduction. So yeah, Violet's sister's in this one. She is returning to a childhood home to seek vengeance against the family that drove them out, and the friend that she feels betrayed her. She's gone back to mess up their life and completely screw them over like she feels they screwed her over. Her mom was the maid of this rich guy, I guess had an affair with the father, and then obviously once they were caught, they had to kick the mom out from the maid service, and her with it, of course. And it sucks because Violet's best friend was the daughter of the rich guy, and they got separated. So yeah, it's pretty dramatic, but again, she uses her attractive wiles to get back in different ways at them. All three movies kind of have that, except for Poison Ivy 2 Lily. It's more of this girl who finds the original Poison Ivy's diary and kind of gets inspired by that to kind of be more salacious and wild and experimentative and stuff like that throughout the movie. It's not as good. The guy that she tries to seduce is kind of really weird and scrubby looking. I don't know. I don't really like him. It's like a mix of Sylvester Stallone and Paul Walker, but from like Kirkland or the dollar store. It just a really weird version. And then the art teacher in this is just scum. So yeah, either way though, really, really, really good examples of what the femme fatale genre is and can be. Got three different kind of flavors here. The first and the third movie kind of have a similar flair to them, but you could expect it because Ivy and Violet are sisters. But yeah, so highly recommend this trilogy if you can find it. I found this on eBay. Most of them I found on eBay or Amazon. Just check around to see which one has the best price for you if you're looking for it. And the last thing for this Femme Fatale collection update for May is arguably not femme fatale, but it kind of is. The only thing that's missing is the kind of attractive, seductive part about it. But other than that, she is whooping some ass and taking her revenge and stuff like that. It's more of a kung fu martial arts film than anything, so I don't know, it works for me. It's kind of a twofer for me because I like martial arts films and I also like femme fatale films, obviously. What I'm talking about is Kill Bill 1 and 2. I originally wasn't probably ever going to pick this up. I watched it once, both films that is, and it was okay at the time. I didn't really like the soundtrack. I didn't really like some of the scenes in it or whatever. I only really appreciated the Pai Mei scene where Uma Thurman's bride character, Beatrix Kiddo, is training with him, and the part where she's talking about him plucking out an eyeball from a certain character in this, and I like that part the most. I like martial arts training scenes in films, but yeah, this is the last part of this. I feel like it is also a femme fatale film. Her husband Bill basically beats the shit out of her. The group of assassins beat the shit out of her on her wedding night, and then Bill shoots her in the head and he thinks she's dead, but she's in a coma for I think 3 or 4 years. And once she wakes up, she realizes that the hospital staff has been using her as a sex doll basically while she's unconscious. Gross, I know, and that would be enough to start a whole series of revenge in my opinion, but not to mention being beat up and shot by your ex boyfriend. So Yeah, she definitely has reason to go and murder a bunch of fools for sure. So this is definitely a femme fatale film in my opinion, even though I don't feel she's super duper attractive or uses any sort of sexuality to seduce anyone to get her way. She's just going through, slicing people up, whooping their ass. And I feel that that's a pretty cool modern take on femme fatale films. Just a strong, can-do, highly motivated revenge femme fatale film. If any of you were ever questioning picking this up for whatever reason, maybe reconsider it as a femme fatale film plus martial arts bonus. I can appreciate it way more now, and I definitely, again, enjoy the Pai Mei training session. And it's kind of cool because the guy that plays Pai Mei is Gordon Liu, and he's in a whole bunch of those like Shaw Brothers films and stuff like that. So kind of cool. I'm gonna have to go pick up some more Pai Mei films if I can find any. There's apparently 5 or 6. So yeah, awesome. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got for May's Femme Fatale Month collection update. Crime, horror, thriller, revenge plots and stuff like that. Let me know if you have any of these. Let me know if you've been watching any Femme Fatale films for Femme Fatale Month in May. Please let me know which one of these were your favorite. Let me know if I've turned you on to anything new. Let me know your thoughts about any of these films in the comments section below, and go check out Katie of the Night's channel if you want to learn more about exploitation films, whether it's girl in prison, whether it's black exploitation, whether it's Western exploitation, etc., etc. She goes through a bunch of them and explains what quite a few of them are and her opinions on it, which are fairly in-depth and informative. So yeah, cheers, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. For glory, for the rebellion, Slammerella out.